Big Hero 6 is the first Disney animated film to have Marvel characters in it. That's right, this film is partially inspired by the Marvel comic of the same name, and that is saying a lot. It definitely branches off into its own thing. This story is about a young kid named Hero who's extremely smart. This guy is a genius. And when a tragedy happens, which I won't spoil in case you don't know, he then takes responsibility for this thing called Baymax. He's basically an inflatable nurse. He's meant to care for you and make sure you're okay in every way that he can. The film takes place in a futuristic city called San Francisco, which is like a hybrid of San Francisco and Tokyo, where tons of new technology is being invented every day. A large theme of this movie is science and how it can be used to help mankind. And when Hero invents something called microbots and the wrong man gets his hands on them and decides to use them for evil, Hero unites with 5 other friends to form Big Hero 6 so they can save the world. I love this movie, and what makes it so special is the relationship that forms between Hero and Baymax. Baymax is one of the most lovable characters I've ever seen in an animated film. This is the type of animated film that makes you sad that these characters don't actually exist, because I would love to just hug that thing. The bond that forms between them is what gives this film its emotional core. This movie is like an amalgamation of The Incredibles, Iron Man, The Avengers, and Terminator 2. In Terminator 2, young John Connor was trying to teach the Terminator how to be more human, how to be more lovable in a way. The movie was rated R and there was lots of blood and violence and everything, but let's face it, you liked the Terminator in that movie a lot. This movie has the superhero team-up vibe of the Avengers, and Baymax, let's face it, he looks like Iron Man. So you could say that we've seen a movie like this before, and we have. But the movie is directed so well, it's written so well, and it is really very funny, and the characters are what draw you to this movie. It's a very entertaining kids film, but as I said, science plays a large theme in this movie, and I remembered when I was a kid being vastly interested in science, and I wanted to be an inventor and do all these amazing things. And this movie has that feeling of ingenuity in it, and I can see tons of kids watching this movie and being like, I want to make something special for mankind right now. But first they're going to want to punch people with iron fists that shoots out of their wrists, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But I cannot stress enough that Baymax really makes this entire movie. He really was one of the most entertaining characters of the year. Everything that came out of his robot voice was hilarious. The 3D was also terrific, and as I said, I saw this movie with a buddy of mine. He was there with his 4 children. All of his kids adored it. And he's in his 40s and he loved it too. This is a movie that will appeal to all ages, and that's the best type of family film right there. One that the entire family can go to and feel like they learned something, they were entertained, there was emotion to be felt, and it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like it was trying to shove it down your throat. This might be my favorite animated film of the year, and not just because of how entertaining the action scenes are and how lovable the characters are. It truly did have me with the emotional, heartfelt core of this film, and I cannot praise the film enough for that, because that is really hard to do, especially with an animated movie. Because the movie has a way of sneaking up on you and telling stories that are more realistic, that kids can understand that sometimes in life certain things do happen, and even though this is a fictional, fantasy, futuristic movie, there is a lot of human emotion in this movie that is very raw, and I think that's something that's good for kids to know about, that is out there, and I think also that adults are really going to appreciate that. Mature audience members are going to appreciate the fact that the film isn't just a kiddie movie with action and explosions and fun. It has a real emotional core to it, and for that reason I'm going to give Big Hero 6 an A. I think it's a fabulous family movie. Definitely go check this one out, guys. You should have a lot of fun with it. Let me know what you think of the movie. If you do see it, I strongly recommend it. Also, pretty cool, I'm planning something that I think is kind of awesome, and I really hope that you guys are interested, because I have really been working hard on this, actually. In my head, I've been toying with this idea of a video that's about horror movies and what I feel is wrong with them nowadays. The direction they're going, the way the audience is reacting to them, the box office, all of these things, I think really are ripe for discussion. I'm working on a video right now that's going to be in the style of my analyzed reviews, you know, for like Prometheus, Only God Forgives, Enemy, Under the Skin, and it's just going to be a discussion on that topic, the problem with horror movies today, and I hope that you guys do check that out when it's released in a few days. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.